You are listening to the Next Play podcast, the playbook for high-performing leaders who want to exceed their full potential. From walking on the Ole Miss football team at 5'7", 150 pounds and earning a full D1 scholarship, to coaching thousands around the world and working with massive organizations like IBM. I've learned countless lessons that I'll be sharing right here with you. Join me as I interview some of the most successful people so you too can learn how to focus on always moving forward by deciding, planning, and executing on the next play relentlessly. This is Richie Contartesi with the Next Play podcast, and today we have two special guests, Hugo and Eli, co-founders of Sunhaus Solar. Hugo has come from the solar space, worked for 2 years running an office and doing sales at the same time, has 4 years in solar. Eli's been in sales, been an online fitness trainer, and has also worked in solar for 3 years. So two young bucks who got into the game, super aggressive, hungry, and have built something really quick coming from, working at previous solar companies before. So I'm excited to jump into this, learn how you did it, where you're going, and everything like that. So thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, man. Pleasure.
Yeah.
Pleasure to be here, Richie.
So let's start I want to jump right into the meat and potatoes of this. So let's talk about Sunhaus Solar. Why did you start it?
Sunhaus Solar, right? It's a baby.
Because this is the
baby, right? This is the
yeah.
baby we created. It's something that's we kind of cherish a lot. We did it for two things: one, our reps, and two, customer service, right? We've been in solar for 4 years. I have for different companies, and one of the things that's been missing a lot is customer support, right? Like people treat their customers
after they buy the solar.
Like after they buy a solar, they forget about it. They forget about them. Customers try to call you back, but hey, what happened to my system? What's going on? People stop responding, but our customer comes first.
Got it.
On top of that, reps, right? Reps are not happy. They can't take care of their customers. So we're creating an environment at Sunhaus where it's easy to communicate with their customers with a more friendly experience at Sunhaus. That's like the whole family-oriented aspect of Sunhaus.
Got it. So do a lot of solar companies, they have a lot of sales people and they build everything around sales, and what you're saying is you obviously do that, you can't not do that,
right?
But you're also making a big emphasis in building a team around customer support and customer service,
right? Treating the customer correctly, right? Because a lot of the times we make so much money in solar, we forget to take care of our customers, and our customers at the end of the day, they do pay our bills,
right? But
we are there to help them. This is a service that is there to save them a lot of money long term. So just treat our customers right, and you'll be treated back right the same way.
So when did you actually start it?
I would say January.
January.
Okay.
January.
And so in 9 months, how many because you're in Vegas for an incentive trip, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty quick in a short period of time. What do you feel like has, walk me through that growth? Like, how did you go from just starting to already on an incentive trip?
That's, I guess, easy. We just hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm.
When we started the company, we were already doing the work, and it was just translating that to our own brand.
Right.
So we created the brand, and then we started doing everything on our own accord, and it became easier when we started our own company because now we had control. We were able to determine what installers we worked with. We were able to determine fair rep splits and everything that to, so we could put our reps in the best possible position, as well as put our homeowners in the best possible position, because we want people to have a good experience, because ultimately in any game of sales, it's the most important thing you're going to get from any customer is a referral.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the safest close, both for their referral and for you, because that missing component for pretty much any fresh point of contact with somebody is going to be trust.
Right.
So that bridges that gap, and if you can do that successfully, I have a homeowner he probably sends me at least it seems like 3 or 4 referrals a month.
Really?
Yeah, this guy, he's just a master networker, just knows all the homeowners. But it's I make sure that I take care of people, so that way on the back end they will reciprocate, and obviously it's a win-win all the way around. I help them, they help me, we help their friend. It's everybody wins, right? There's no losses.
Nice. So I definitely want to go into how you built the team, what's the direction, all that stuff, but I want to kind of take a step backwards because obviously both of you are young. how did you? Is this your first business? Is this?
This is my second business, right?
Okay.
I dabbled a little bit in construction, so I started my own concrete company.
Okay.
That was not too good. It didn't turn out too well, man.
Why?
I had no sales experience. I literally just got into. I knew the skill, how to do concrete. I saw my brother do it since I was little. So I'm like, you know what? It doesn't look too hard. I can probably do it for my neighbors. Charge them $10,000, make a profit.
Yeah.
The thing about that is people haggle you for a lower price.
Right.
And you go into debt. You don't catch little things that were supposed to be on that proposal.
Yeah.
So went out of business really quickly. In less than 6 months, I was in debt about $40,000. Really, really fast. Ended up losing a lot of stuff. I had a good job. I was stable. I was making $80,000 a year, which is really good money in construction, right? But I lost it all due to wanting to start my own business. And that's basically my first business before Sunhaus.
Got it. So you went into construction. You got $40,000 in debt, and then what'd you do from there? Is that how you got into solar sales?
I was depressed. I was like, man, I love being an entrepreneur. My family's been an entrepreneur. My dad used to own a lot of butcher shops in Mexico.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of like it runs in the family, right? So I'm like, what can I do? I don't want to do hard labor. Like, this is not me.
Yeah.
Like, this is not my passion. So I went on Indeed. I was like, you know what? Like, I lost my business. I couldn't come back from that anymore. Like, I was in debt $40,000.
Right.
And Grant Cardone was a big picture in my life in the first, couple years of my life.
Right.
And he just always talked about sales. Like, sales is the way. Sales creates so many opportunities in the U.S., in America, right? This is like the number one producing income. And I applied for a sales position. I thought nothing of it. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I got interviewed at a company 4 years ago. It was the best decision I could have made in my entire life. I was sold on the fact that I was going to be an in-home closer.
Yeah.
And the first week there, I got dropped off in an area with no pitch,
Really?
no structure, and they're
Dang.
like, go get appointments for our closers to sell solar. And I'm like, gotcha. Let me go. And they said, go knock on 100 doors, and you'll find somebody that wants to do solar.
And is that how it worked?
It did not work like that. My first door, I butchered. The customer's like, what do you want? Like, I just want to sell you solar. Like, people were this is a program that we're offering, and I had no structure. I wasn't creating any pain. I wasn't creating a solution. I wasn't breaking into preoccupation. My pitch was all over the place. I just got dropped off. But this is how I learned. I just got dropped off. I must have been like I didn't know what I was doing when I was younger. It must have been a dumb fire. You know how we have that dumb fire when we're young. I went out there and I'm like, well, these guys are making good money. I can do it too.
Yeah.
And Grant Cardone says, to be successful, you got to be good at sales. And sure, okay. Let me listen to a mentor I've never met in my life, and dive in. And I got committed and disciplined and just started working on my craft.
Yeah. So who was your mentor? Was it just another sales rep there? Or?
It was a sales manager. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We would have daily correlations, just teach us how to sell people. But the first week they just drop you off. It's kind of like the shark swim, right?
Yeah, that's wild. Dude.
Yeah. It's like the sink or swim. Like, you're either sink or swim, and I ended up.
Do you agree with that philosophy? If you hire a new sales rep, is that your?
Looking back, I do carry that sometimes, but I don't believe so. Just because you waste so much time for the rep. It's like you're throwing somebody in the field without any weapons. Like, how are you going to defend yourself? It makes no sense.
Like, why would you hire somebody if you're not sure? Yeah. If you're not sure what, I feel like if you're gonna bring someone on, you want to feel pretty clear that they're gonna do well. Yeah. And then set them up like that. That basically is like, how many people can we hire? Throw them out, and then the top will rise, and then we'll fire all the rest. But then you're spending so much time. I don't know what.
Looking back, that company was a turn and burn. Sorry, they'll hire people. It was a really scammy company. They weren't telling their homeowners this was solar. So this is like a whole program, selling you a program on like, hopefully you get like windows, maybe you get insulation. I don't know what's gonna be. We'll have our closer come back, and hopefully you get qualified for the 12 renewable programs. And this is our pitch: 12 renewable programs. It's not solar. I guarantee you, Mr. Homeowner, this is not gonna be solar for your home. And this is what I would tell everybody at the house.
But it was solar.
But it was solar at the end of the day. So bad. It's so bad looking back at it. I know it was a bad company, but I did learn it a lot, and we implement this at Sunhaus. Like, we can't have a rep that comes into our company and not know our values and get them trained up on how to talk to a customer about like how to create a problem and how to create the solution.
Right.
And that's
or find the problem.
Or find the problem. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, solar's pretty easy with the government credits. Like, you can pretty much make it make sense for.
Yeah, it's pretty.
No, it makes. I've never sat with anybody or closed anybody that didn't save money literally their first month going solar.
Yeah.
Like this is the only form of sales that I know of that by somebody not opting into it, they're going to spend more money every month because of it.
Right.
Like this is the only thing you're going to sell somebody that they're going to save money by locking it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
Eli, what's your story? How did you get into solar? How did you guys meet? Let's start that too.
Oh, okay. I got into solar because I actually saw my buddies Fawson and Dylan, who are the other guys we started this with. They were doing it, they were crushing it, and I was like, I think I could do that. It was just more like a thing. I think I could do that, but I also knew the lifestyle that came with it, which was freedom, right? So, and that's what like really did it for me. And at the time, I was, transitioning into like doing the on-time full coach. I hadn't really even like scaled it, so like consider it like, okay, I was making like a full-time income off of this, but I was just like, I really don't want to sit at home and cold DM people all day too. So, which is ironic because now it's like I go and I knock doors for, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I feel like I'm the type of person, like you guys obviously both go to the gym. Have you guys ever done a home workout?
Yeah.
Do you ever get a...
Wait, like without weights kind of thing?
Just any home workout.
Sure.
At all. Yeah, with weights, without weights.
Yeah.
Do you get a better workout at home or at the gym?
Well, I might be a little bit of a different case because I have like a full-blown gym in my garage.
Okay.
But no, for sure. If I'm doing a workout like in the family room with I would say way better at the gym.
Yeah, see, and that's me, right? That's why people go to like Starbucks to like do their homework and stuff because I work better when I'm in the environment of people all working towards a similar goal, regardless if it's actually directly helping me or not. But just being in that atmosphere where everybody's working on the same thing, and then there's culture, community, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Being able to meet people, network, and it's just like damn, like you see this guy doing this, and it's like you meet them, and it's like, well, this guy isn't like some crazy genius or like doing something extra out of the ordinary, but he's just done the right steps for long enough, and it makes everything seem so attainable and achievable. I mean, like I'll frequently like walk up to like dudes like your guys' size at the gym and be like, dude, like
dude, you're bigger than me. Get out of here.
Nah.
Like, go ahead.
But
his size for sure.
Yeah, twice the size at least. But I'll go up to people. I'll just be like, yo, dude, I really admire your hard work, and like I don't know what it is you're doing, but like whatever it is, like let me know the sauce, because I'd like to put some of that in my life. So I saw them doing it. I knew I was going to work better in that environment because they were all working together, right? So I went with them. They were working for a company at the time, and in that company, Hugo was one of the guys that was also working for that company, and that's where I met him. He actually helped me close one of my first deals.
What would the kind of deal?
Huh?
Solar deal.
Oh, it was solar. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is when we were already in solar. So he helped me close one of my first solar deals, and just from there we switched to a different company, which obviously people make any move, it's because they believe it's going to be a better opportunity. For a little bit it seemed like it ended up not being so great, and then that's when we were kind of put in the position, okay, so are we going to follow some of our old top leaders from our previous company, or are we just going to do our own thing? And we opted to just create our own, and
I like it.
So that's how I felt.
All right, so you decided to create your guys' own thing. Was it just originally you guys and the two other founders knocking doors, or how did you get off the ground?
So great question. So when we left our first company, we took quite a few people with us, just because they believed in us. They knew that we would be able to give them a great opportunity. So we took them to that next company. And that's like, it's hard, dude, like having to explain to people like, all right, we're making a shift again. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's where you really get tested with trust, because it's like people aren't going to keep moving with you if they don't genuinely believe in what you have to offer them, is going to
Right.
be the best thing on the table, right?
Right.
So they trusted us enough to make this final move to here, and I can confidently say now we're not moving anywhere because
Right.
this is ours, you know?
Yeah.
But I got lost in the... But
Well, so basically it's you guys, right?
Yeah.
How did you get from the 4 of you to how many do you have now?
like 20, 25.
25. It varies. 25, 30. People drop off, fall
Right.
off. People get.
But how did you get, like, because it's usually always that first initial
push, right? So
yeah.
we like he was saying earlier, we all worked together. We hit the trenches running. We did.
were you guys all knocking? Were you all
We were just doing blitzes. We were just sleeping in couches, going out of state. We went to AZ a couple times. We did a blitz out there. We came out to Cali. We did a couple blitzes out here. And
Vegas?
Cali.
Yeah.
Back in Cali. So we were just first.
Because you guys are from San Diego, right?
No, we're from Chino Hills.
Oh, okay.
So inland
but
and part, more
but
inland.
but California, Southern
California.
Okay, yeah.
So
Okay.
we were just blitzing, right, different areas. We'll drop out maybe an hour and a half, get an Airbnb, and stay there for 2 weeks, and then may fly out the next week and go to AZ. And we did that for 4 months straight. We were, doing pretty good numbers. Our guys were watching us. They were basically the guys lifting the lids.
Yeah.
And this is how the second layer of leadership came into play, right?
Yeah.
Eli or myself, and then we have our other reps that came into that light, and they're like, if they can do it, we can do it as well.
Got it.
And this is how our team grew slowly but
So you,
surely.
but why not choose like one area? Why go to like different areas and do it?
That's a good question. So we've always worked in the Chino area, and we felt like we needed to change. Let's do AZ. Everybody's doing blitzes. We saw different companies doing it. Let's try it out for ourselves. And I think
Because you get like a fresh
start, and it's
Yeah.
it's an environment where people are hungry to work, and some sales reps can be lazy. If you don't put them in the right environment, they're not going to.
So you get them out of their comfort.
Their comfort zone.
Oh, I see.
Get them out of their comfort zone. Get them out to area, and it's a daily grind for people to get out of whatever situation they might be in.
Right.
It's kind of like a brotherhood, right? Like everybody comes in together, and they work for a cause.
So what is that like? A 2-week blitz? Like how many deals would you get in a 2-week?
So our first month.
Is it all day, or you just 6 a.m. or not that
Yeah.
early, but 9 to 7 or something?
So our daily correlations, right? So it was Airbnb. Everybody get to the restrooms. Everybody wash up. You got to be at the dining table by 10 a.m. You're not at the dining table. We're letting you out. Like you're getting kicked out of the Airbnb because we want people that are disciplined. We want people to keep the environment going. We want people to be like on fire.
Right.
So you're not following these rules. You're out. Right. That was like the daily habits.
Okay.
We went out. We did car groups. So we had 4 car group leaders.
Mm-hmm.
We would assign area. People would get dropped off, and they would just hit the ground running. We had a designated closer per every car. Our first month we did about 50 accounts.
Okay.
50 accounts. Not a big deal, right? For a lot of dealers, some dealers are doing 200-300, but for us it was a huge deal coming from that previous company.
I mean, how many people did you have? 12?
It was a small team. It was
Yeah.
a small team. It was about 12, 13 when we first made the move. It
Not
wasn't that.
everybody with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like half the guys were like
So you're just 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. just all day.
10 a.m. and 7 p.m. for 2 weeks straight,
Right.
all day. Yeah.
And you just get home and you just crash, and then wake up at good.
Eat
And do it
shitty
again.
food.
Shitty food. And this is really like the cool memories are created. I think they're sleeping on the couches with the guys, and camaraderie gets built. And
Yeah.
that's where culture really gets built as well.
So it was like the 4, like were you guys the closers and you had these other sales reps? Is that how?
Right. We had closers, and we had competitions too, right? Sadly, I ended up losing my competition. It was close 10 deals in 2 weeks. I was 3 short. So I ended up shaving my head.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, but it created that environment of like I gotta go hustle hard to hit the ground running and just lead from the front for my guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you went and did that. So now, how did you transition that into? Did you how did you transition that into like a company?
So we kind of like got into we realized that month 3, month 4 we're like, oh shoot, we gotta take care of accounting. Oh shoot, we gotta take care of like
customer service.
Customer service. We're like, dude, we can't do everything at the same time. Like, I want to keep selling with the guys, and I also got to do this so our guys are getting money, getting paid, right? So that's where the second layer of leadership. We had to like have faith in them and the responsibility in front of their hands.
Yeah.
So, Eli is like one of them. Like, he was out there creating that opportunity for our second generation. And then we had other reps that would lead offices. We just delegated a lot of our stuff.
Yeah.
So if it was trainings, correlations, we would do it like pretty consistently. So we just delegated it for somebody else. Since it's 4 or 5 partners, we ended up delegating some tasks to different people.
Right.
I did the accounting, I did the customer service, and then Fawson would do like the relationships with the installers, right? And it's just we kind of found our own little niche.
Like everyone had their thing that they were gonna do.
We're working for the company, yeah.
Now, are you still selling or no?
Not anymore, not as much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still do blitzes or no?
Yes, yeah. That's actually one of our biggest things, like drivers for Sunhaus.
Yeah.
Blitz model.
Oh, that's the full model.
Basically, mentee mentor with the blitz model involved.
What's what's that?
Mentee mentor is basically what he was saying, setter closer. So you'll have somebody that's really experienced be a mentor, and they take 2 or 3 guys under their wing, which are the mentees, right?
Yeah.
These are the guys that are learning how to set appointments, or they're brand new. They're like green peas into the industry. Mentor has had experience previously in solar, so they can actually, pass down our teachings and our sales structure.
Yeah. So how common is that? How many, like, I know there's a bunch of micro solar companies popping up left and right everywhere now.
Right.
Is that what? Like, if I lived in Vegas and I opened one, why wouldn't I just build a team and have offices and do it in Vegas? You guys feel like if you're getting people out of their comfort zone and move them for 2 weeks, they're just gonna go way harder than they could here for a month.
Right.
Is that the mindset around it?
That's
okay.
the mindset.
Got it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So is that how you think you'll always operate?
I think there will come a point where we kind of act as a hybrid. I feel like most people are not built for that environment, which is okay, right? It's not a bad thing. Some people are better off doing consistent work.
Yeah.
And doing like the whole 9 to 5, working, staying.
Well, they
local.
wouldn't do well in solar sales. Like
exactly.
You can't.
You can't do.
No, that kind of mentality wouldn't work.
Right.
Anyways, right? I assume.
Unless you have a structure built in, right? So this is something like for later down the future, that would be the hybrid. Like correlations are still going to be built in, and this is somewhere where you come in and clock out. And the hybrid would be like the top closers will go out to blitzes, and the people that are like barely getting into the industry would be more like localized and like being nurtured by the top leadership.
Yeah.
So they're ready to go out and actually work with the big dogs and get those big checks, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So walk me through, like, so the big thing, especially listeners, are like, how are you hiring top people? How are you training them? And like, I'm actually interested for both of you, your sales process, like just in general, of coming from an environment where it's sink or swim versus, you're saying that you want to almost put more of a process in place versus. So what does that look like? If you got a roll too, dude. Okay, go.
Yeah, so that process, like I said, coming from that type of environment where like you had to sink or swim, it's not a long-lasting company. So processes and systems have to be built.
Yeah.
And how that looks for us at Sunhaus is we get a brand new green pea that comes into solar. We run down from A to Z, how the product works, how the industry works, and the sales structure.
Yeah.
This is like a whole, 3-day to a week boot camp where they're in a classroom setting. They're getting taught by myself, Dylan, or Fawson, and they're just learning.
It's a 3-week, you said, or 1 week?
1 week.
Oh,
3 days to 1 week.
Got it. So it's all day
training, and then once they're ready to go out, we just drop them off, and they're off to the races.
Dang. Okay. So, do you have like a sales method that you subscribe to, like spin selling, or there's hundreds of them out there? Do you like subscribe to some sales trainer or sales training or anything like that for your team?
We don't subscribe to any sales training. Whatever we got taught with in the past, this is what we kind of like.
You just teach your own method.
I do.
Pass the baton.
I do the emotional sale.
Emotional sale.
Yeah, I build a lot of.
Is that you just made that up? Like
No. I swear, it's literally one of the things I learned from one of the top closers in our old office. It's just literally because most people don't make decisions off of logic. They make them off of emotion.
For sure.
So I put them. I know how to put homeowners in an emotional state, because money's an emotional topic for people, right?
Of course.
That's a very emotional topic for people. So what I do is I become their financial advisor when I'm in home with them. Like I literally, I'm like, you guys ever use a compound interest calculator before? and they'll be, most of the time they're like no, because they don't, they don't really need it. But I show them how I use it, why I use it. I show them what they're currently paying for on average with their electric bill, with the rate increases for the last 10 years with the utility in California. It's gone up 10% every year consistently. Like,
wow, 10%?
Yeah, on average, yeah. And then that's why I use a compound interest calculator. So if history repeats itself, which if we're in a recession, usually things get a little bit worse, if anything,
Right.
So I say, based off of this data, like, I can tell you that if this continues for the next 25 years, this is how much money you guys are going to pay just for the utility.
Yeah.
And I'd say about 95% of the people I show that to, the number's always over 6 figures. Just spent on electricity over the next 25 years.
Wow.
And when I show them that, it's like, oh, like, and I'm like, they have kids or whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's like the difference of you putting your kids through college, or you whatever, you know what I mean? And people don't think about that because electricity is a necessity. But when they sit down and they just see the logic explained, and you just build that like emotional state off of like, damn, like, that could be, that could be another house for my kids or whatever. It's like,
that's it. So the emotional state necessarily isn't the 6-figure amount of money. It's where that money could have gone. It's, you could send your kid to this college, or instead of this one, or give your kid the money they need to start their business versus not. So that's where the emotion, like, that's what you figure out, like, how they can, how you can tie the emotional aspect to the amount of money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that what you teach your team?
That's everybody has their own different style, and I feel like it's, whether it's a door pitch or whether it's a close, everybody has their own style that works for them. That works for me because of who I am and how I am. It's not going to work for everybody, because not everybody, maybe people won't feel right doing that. Maybe they won't, understand, like,
they won't have the right tonality, and they won't care. Or whatever.
Exactly.
We have a sales structure that we teach everybody to follow A through Z, but everybody does
what is that like?
Their own twist.
I love that kind of. What is that like?
A through Z, right? It's just basically 3 ways to go solar.
3 what?
3 ways of going solar. So it's like the PPA, lease, ownership, and then you touch up on kill the bill, right? That's like the second step. You kill the bill. You show them how like
how
bad your situation is.
Right.
Look at how it's charging you. Like, this is the rates. Most people don't look at their bills. Like, some people have them on auto pay. They forget to look at their bills.
Yeah, I have mine on auto pay. But I get an email that shows me how much it was.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So
but with the electricity today, it's like, here in Vegas, it's set up like equal over time.
Gotcha.
So do you know what I'm talking about?
I haven't sold in Nevada.
So like,
it's like a level pay.
Right, you pay the same amount every month for electricity, and they calculate how much you would do over the course of a year, and then you just pay.
And a lot of the times when it comes to states like Nevada, you can't really save money for a lot of these customers and homeowners. The situation's different. It's more of a value close. It's like, do you want to have the utility company have full control of your situation?
Right. Green close,
and green, and go have control of your power. You're basically your own power plant. Like, forget about, is it NV Energy?
Yeah,
NV Energy. Like, say goodbye to them, man. Don't worry about it.
So if you have solar, you don't need that at all?
You're still connected to the grid. Technically, I don't know how the NEM works here in Nevada, but I know with Edison, it's just a connection fee, usually $6 to $12 per month, just to be connected to the grid. But Edison, they do have higher rates, so there's a lot more savings out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just feel like in California, there's a lot more go green people.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's much easier.
It's gotten easier. A lot of people are kind of running away from California just because it's like it's tapped out, or people are saying it's tapped out. Like, it's most densely popped out. Like, San Diego is like tapped out. Like, there's so much solar out there, but people are still getting deals. Like, some of the top offices that we were kind of part of, they're still running. They're being ran in San Diego.
Oh, you mean like it's already
like the market share
so saturated?
Yeah.
Interesting. Is that everywhere around the country, or just?
I feel like AZ is a little easier when it comes to saturation.
Yeah.
Like newer product there. Like, people are kind of getting used to solar. California, I think California is easier because they've seen solar so many times. You know how the whole saying, like, now it used to be 7 times before you make a decision.
Right.
Now it's gone up to like 14 times or something crazy.
A million touches.
Right? So I feel like it's gotten to that point where, like, it's just a competitive bid, and who has more value in California.
Right.
Like, what company provides my value and who's going to take care of my family? So that's where like Sunhaus comes into play, and it's like we really care about our customers and we really walk them through the whole sales process.
Yeah.
We hold your hand. We make sure you're getting taken care of.
Yeah. And after the fact.
Yeah.
So how do you find sales? Because if there's so many solar companies, right, and there's all like in this industry, it's not just solar, but like windows and all these other like, how do you find? And most sales reps are 100% commission, right? 1099.
Yeah.
So how do you find good quality sales reps?
I personally think good quality sales people can be trained, but also to find them, there's some people just don't like their previous companies and they want to work with somebody else, and that's where like you do like the really heavy recruiting is like who's ready to make that move and work with a better company, like, or is your previous company not taking care of you? Like, we're here for you, open arms.
Right.
But
how do you find those people, like the people that are unhappy at, like what's your current like recruiting process?
Just like
find
a lot of online branding for sure. People
Instagram.
see it, like they'll see it. I'm sure you've seen like our Big Bag Wednesday, like whenever rep gets like a over 5-figure commission, we'll like post it on the on the page, and it's like, oh shit, like they're doing shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not fluff. It's like all like those commissions were paid out that like they've already been, those commissions have already hit their bank account before we even post that. So this isn't like what they have in their pipeline. They're gonna get paid out. This is what they already got paid. And then people see that, and I have a lot of people reach out to me based off of that, because it's just like they see what we're doing, and the people that follow me, people that follow Hugo, they know that I'm not like some crazy like special like talented like person. I'm just like an average guy. Like I just decided to make a different decision one day, and it led to an opportunity that's been able to present like a future that I wouldn't have been able to see otherwise. So
awesome. So your way of recruiting is just social media. It's posting incentives. It's posting, well, not incentives, but when you do something well, like, hey, this guy got a commission check, or we're on this trip, or something.
Showing culture. People get gravitated to culture, and obviously like not the BS. Like people see through the BS. So if you're open and real on social media, people are just gravitated to that.
Yeah. So how do you do that? How do you be open and real on social media?
On social media, what do you
Man,
mean?
just look at her page. Go to Sunhaus, man. Go to Sunhaus Solar.
How do you be open and real? I
I feel like it's obviously an important topic, and so I'm always.
You gotta personalize it, because I feel like people are just used to like seeing so much like ad copy online. It's like this generalized like post that feels like it's talking to everybody, so it's really attracting nobody. You know, and I think when you make the content like cater to like the type of people.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I like the last 3 posts.
How do you like the profile picture?
Oh, it's you.
I'm not in charge of it either, so I didn't do that. It wasn't me. But I'm happy to be the face.
Whoever has the biggest check for the previous week gets put on the social media. So we have fun with it, you know.
Right. This is cool, man. I like this. Good design.
Yeah, shout out.
So your guys' colors are.
Yeah, actually, Boston's girlfriend Beryl, she does all of our social media, and
Shout
she
out to
like
her.
kills it. Yeah, she kills it. So
Like she made like 3 pictures look like one. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, and she we
Have you
have
seen
people.
That? I've never seen that. I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
People from other solar companies have reached out to us, like asking, like, "Oh, how are you guys doing it? That social media stuff? Like, you guys are like, it's very. I think people are very receptive to it because it's like super aesthetic, and it's like it's gotta look nice, it's gotta flow nice, but it's gotta be real too, because all of those pictures are like nice and cool, and like anybody could post pictures of anything on the internet, you know. But it's like what's resonating with the people is the fact that it's just like it's so like down to earth. You know what I mean? It's just showing like anybody can do this, dude. We have people from all walks of life, literally like.
Anybody can do what? Get solar or sell?
Both, I guess. Well, I mean, if you own a home. But like sell, it's like sales is intimidating for people. I feel like because people don't like feeling like they're pressuring other people to do things, right?
Right.
But I'm also.
But you gotta believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Then you're not pressuring people.
Exactly.
But you should I mean, sales is never pressuring. It's finding people that have the problem and then giving them a solution, an option.
Exactly. Yeah.
For a great solution.
And people will assume rejection is the other person saying, "Hey, you're pressuring me into doing something I don't want to do." Like, I don't like. I'm not. It's not my job to go into people's houses and convince them that saving money is a good thing. Like I'm going to show you how much you're going to save, like short term and long term.
Yeah.
And if I can't if saving money truly genuinely doesn't make sense to you, then I'm just not good at my job, or there's something else underneath that I haven't pulled out yet, and we just haven't had that conversation.
So how long are these meetings? Like when you go in
with a homeowner,
an hour?
They say I take the longest in my closes.
I bet you do.
But what I will say is sometimes my closes do take a long time. But I'd say because here's the thing with solar is that signing the agreement, signing the contract, that's not the done deal. The solar going on the roof is like people will cancel or whatever. In the meantime, my sign to install rate is very high. Like if I sign somebody,
if you sign your the
100% to install.
Yeah, right. I'm very confident. And that's why I like working with setters too, because the best way to keep the new people motivated is to get them paid, right?
Right.
And if they're working with somebody, and we don't have really anybody like this in our office, but if you had somebody that was like closing deals in the office and they were like half of their deals were falling off after they signed them, it's like that sucks,
Deal, right?
And so.
Because is it just because they're quick in and out, or they're just really high pressure to get them to sign? And then
the two things.
People realize they're like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, something that I've found has worked really well for me. I learned this from one of the best in the industry. Is just the post work, right? Because after you sign the deal, so many reps will just like kind of ghost their homeowners, just wait for them to get installed and get to the next one,
deal.
right? Which is kind of counterintuitive as a rep, because that's very small scale thinking, because you're only going to be able to do so much on your own accord and nobody's going to want to help you that way.
Right.
So the post work that I do, like literally after I sign a homeowner, like I'll send them like a thank you card with like a gift card, like, hey, thanks for letting me help you with your transition to solar. I super appreciate it. They know they have my like personal cell number. They can contact me with any questions, concerns, anything like that. I give them project updates as their projects like go through, like, hey, we just got permits, we're ready for install, whatever the case may be. I'm very hands-on with it. And they appreciate that, right? Because it's like that extra touch, because like it's just so easy for a rep to leave all that work for an installer to do, and most of these installers never do that. So if you're really hands-on with it,
they just get there and they're just like, they're not interested in the relationship at all.
For the installer? It depends. Some installers are good with it.
But did they pretend like they're your brand?
No.
You tell them like, hey, it's a subcontractor.
We're the middleman. We tell them who we're working with.
Yeah.
We just tell them that we're like.
But why don't the installers get reps and sell it themselves?
Some installers do have their own rep force, but I mean, a lot of people want to start their own dealerships too, and it's like an installer is not going to turn down business. So if somebody has a sales force that wants to use a specific installer as an installer, that they're still bringing them business. They might be making less money on that business, but that's business they wouldn't otherwise have.
That's very true. Also, like, installers just get dedicated to the construction side. We'll work on doing the sales. Like,
right.
Our guys have been trained forever, right?
So it's just marketing, sales, and then fulfillment, the installers.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much most companies are split. Interesting. Do you think you'll ever have your own installation in-house?
Hopefully down the road. Our whole main plan is to be in the whole home service department. Like you were saying, Windows, right? Windows is a huge industry.
Everybody I know in Windows is absolutely destroying it.
Killing it, right?
Why Windows? Why is that?
I don't know, man. It's just people like to update their homes for whatever reason. Windows go up to like $30,000, $40,000. It's crazy, right? So Sunhaus is just getting ready to make that move eventually, right? Solar is really lucrative now. We don't want to move away from it now.
Right.
But home service is it's a huge industry. Roofs, windows, HVACs. Like you see the big guys, like Next Gen, they're killing it doing HVACs.
Right.
It's just
wait, isn't Next Gen? Aren't they the fire alarms?
The
and
HVACs.
Stuff? Oh, HVACs.
Yeah,
okay.
Next Gen is the HVACs. Yeah,
Got it. Okay. What's ABBs? But they're. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
They're like
just one part of the HVAC.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, they're a product in the HVAC.
Gotcha.
But they're in like every HVAC, right, or something like that.
That's crazy.
All right, cool. So let's talk about. How do you keep your team motivated?
We take them to Vegas and then put them in an Airbnb for 2 days. No, it's.
They didn't want to do the podcast with us.
Huh? I mean, we could have probably would have been like a room full of people. I don't know if that was cool, but we keep them motivated. Honestly, two things. It's like leading from the front, right? It's like, you like when you see, it's like when you don't go to the gym, but you see your buddy posted, like you should have known you should have gone to the gym. Maybe your buddy posted something on social media, and it's like you saw them at the gym, they just hit a new PR, and you're like, fuck, I didn't even go today, you know?
Right, yeah.
Like, so it's just us like being very active. So we have like a group chat for our team,
Okay.
and then it's kind of like an accountability thing too, right? We just post like when we're in hood, when we're on the doors, things like that, install dates, deals that we close, pretty much everything and anything to do with like us actually making forward progress. It's just the easiest way to hold them accountable. And then we do like plan like trips and things, and then we have like competitions and stuff like that too, because a little healthy competition goes a long way sometimes.
For sure. What do you track? Like, what if you're like focusing on specific KPIs? What do you track, and what have you found works?
What works is like tracking the amount of doors that they're knocking, but not just the doors. It's like the actual interactions with the customer.
So how many doors knocked to how many customer connections?
So usually, if you're knocking 100 doors, depends on the type of hood. You can be in a 9-to-5 working community, and they're not going to be there from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Right?
What happens? You could go a whole day with zero.
It happens. It happens in communities like I'll say Eastville, right, in California. Like that's a really huge 9-to-5 communal like work community. You just have to keep knocking. You'll find the people there, right? But it's just all ratios. We asked our guys to at least talk to 12 individuals that are interested. Per day. Yeah, 12 interested.
But so many people work from home now. That helps.
Yeah, it does.
It did during 2020. It was a good year.
For solar, just exploded in 2020.
Yeah, man.
Such BS.
Yeah.
It's like so.
Another thing too, like obviously, what we'll do is like
Injection of money. Everybody's at home. It's the best scenario. It was like
Best
literally.
scenario ever.
yeah.
Damn, you guys were 1 year late. Or no, you started in 22. You're 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. We,
Our office had a phenomenal year.
I bet.
Yeah,
I bet.
phenomenal year.
we train them how to, once we're in the hood, we'll like train them how to like look for signs of life, right? Like, so if there's like oil stains in the driveway or whatever, probably chances are they park in their driveway and they're not home because there's not a car over that oil spot, right? Or like if all the windows are shut.
But they knock anyway.
I mean, you can, like, there's different things to look for too.
I mean, my house looks empty all the time, and we're there.
Really?
Yeah, if we're there, it looks, that front of the house looks exactly the same if we're not there.
So when we're actually tracking KPIs, it's like you really got to work your hood. Like you got to farm it. You got to stay there for some time because you'll see a lot.
How big's a hood? Like when you say neighborhood, like what?
Neighborhood, I would say about 200 houses per rep. Like this last year maybe.
How long?
Like half a day, right? Like you probably go through it like half a day, but you retouch it, you farm it. You
so you just keep hitting the same 200 houses.
People get to know you, right? Like.
But do you run into other solar reps doing it?
All the time. You just gotta be the best and run them out.
Summer's over now. It's worse during summer because what other states like there's like installers in Utah, Texas. They'll fly there because California has some of the highest electricity rates in the country. They'll fly their teams out here during the summer. And then
out to California? Oh, okay.
So you'll have teams from, Arizona, Texas, Vegas, Utah, wherever, all knocking neighborhoods in California. And so you encounter that a lot.
So what do you do when you see... Dude, by the way, do you have to go? You sure? Okay. Sorry. I was thinking about it. I was like, wait. So, because we're talking about running in, and I was like, so what do you do when you run into...
I try to recruit them.
Really?
Yeah.
Savage.
Yeah.
No, but like in general, like what do reps? Well, that's good. Actually, that's really smart.
Like, how much are you getting paid right now?
Right.
Well, it's very common. Like a lot.
They're just like, oh, I'm interested. I'm thinking.
It is like because
Sometimes, yeah.
I come across reps a lot. They don't even know what their pay structure is. I'm like, you can't even tell me how much. Why are you out here? Like, you're not gonna go work a job and not know how much you get paid.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're gonna find that out first. Then, if that's okay, then you accept the job and you do it. But I run into reps sometimes, and they don't even know how their pay structure works.
Right.
So it's like I can't like really compare anything to them. But what I can tell them is, because of the lack of transparency in their company, I can tell them they're not getting paid as much as they should be. Yeah.
So okay. So that's pretty nuts though that you like literally
Recruit them on the spot.
I mean, will you knock on the doors that they just knocked on?
Oh, I mean, I'm respectful. Like, I have an abundant mindset. Like, the last guy I ran into in the hood, he owned his company too, so I wasn't really trying to recruit him because I knew it's not. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? But I saw him there with one of his setters. I was like, yo, like I'm not trying to knock all the houses you guys knock. They literally just signed 2 deals on there too, and I've had people try to steal deals from me too. I'm like, I'm not that guy. I really don't care to steal your deals. Like I can talk to, probably like 5 of these homeowners, and at least one of them will like me enough to talk to me.
Yeah.
So I just like, hey, where'd you guys knock? I'll just dodge all those doors, and then I'll go find my own.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you guys, so it's pretty like everyone's pretty cool about like.
I mean, not everybody.
Not everybody's cool about
Solar is
it.
it can be pretty brutal. Like some people are like pretty
brutal.
cutthroat. Yeah, which is why we've had to switch companies a couple times to eventually starting our own. But
So okay. So real quick, back to the numbers. So what's a great success? Like doors knock connections to, because then it's like closing appointments, right? And then how many of those appointments turn into deals? Like what would you say are good conversion?
What we ask our guys is to do at least 2 appointments a day. Knock 100.
Set 2 appointments.
Set 2 appointments a day.
With 100 doors.
With 100 doors.
How many connects do they get with 100 doors?
Usually you can hit 12 to 15 connects. If you have a good day, like you can get up to 20. Right. It just depends on the neighborhood and the time of the day, like who you're.
So you
talking
want a
to.
10 to 20% conversion rate to an appointment.
To an appointment. From the appointments, 50% of them do fall off, like over time.
Do they show? What's your show rate?
So
When you say
the show rate's like I would say right now it's really good. It's like 65% and above. But like industry wide is like 50% show rate for like brand new reps that just come into the industry.
Yeah.
You set 2, one of them's.
But what do you do? How are you nurturing the appointments? Are you setting them calendars with text reminders?
We have an application that we use. Basically,
I figured there's some technology.
There's technology. We gotta do like both tech, high touch, right? High tech.
Do you get like their cell phone and their emails?
We have their cell phone and their email. Yeah.
We don't
part
consider
of setting the appointment.
That's part of it. Yeah. And collecting a utility bill.
Oh, they'll give you the bill?
Yeah. It solidifies your appointment.
That seems like a very personal thing to give out. Huh?
Right.
Yeah, it's
I would
all the time.
People
give it. Like it's all the time.
Do they think about it? Like, wait, I don't want to give.
That is a good rebuttal because you can always say like, the worst thing I could do is pay your bills.
Right.
They're just like,
there's
my bill.
There's nothing on there that's so personal. It's not like I have your bank access or anything.
Yeah.
Literally, all I can see on there is like how much you owe to the utility company. How much power you guys have used over ideally the last year, depending on the utility company's billing process, and that's pretty much it. And the rates that they're getting charged, but it's the process. My mindset on it is like, look, if you're even interested in looking into solar, this is going to be the process you're going to have to do with literally anybody that you do it with. So like, may as well be me. So.
Okay, so 100. What percentage will hit the 2 appointments a day?
From our reps, I would say right now our office is doing about 60% of the guys. Right, so some guys need more training, and this is how
60% of what?
Of our current guys that we have as setters. We don't have too many setters right now. It's more. Okay. We have a lot more closers.
Got it.
So our own closers are doing their own metrics. They're going out there and hunting for their own
appointments.
Their own deals and their own appointments.
I see. Do you want to get more setters? Is that like
that's the goal? That's the goal, right? Getting a systemizing the company where we just have.
So this connection after is gonna be good for that because he built that whole. I mean, I'll let him.
Cool. Yeah. So I know. We all believe in the setter closure model. It's just like the lack of recruitment, right? Which is kind of hard to get by good salesmen, good salespeople.
Yeah. But setters, like, can high school kids do that?
Yeah.
That's funny. One of my setters, we brought him on when he was 17. He was still in high school.
Right, I would literally. Is that underage though? Can they do it?
No, they can do it.
He's 18 now.
Why not just hire high school kids? 16, 17-year-olds who are like.
Honestly, it's from just my personal experience. When they're closer to that age, it's better because, they're very open-minded. You know what I mean?
Super hungry.
Ambitious.
So where would you go? The high school. So wait, where are you finding like?
Right now, a lot of our setters are coming from Indeed or college recruiting. So
but not high school.
Why not high school? We've never thought about doing high school. It's kind of intrusive. It feels.
You get something out of this podcast.
Yeah.
Because then you got to deal with their parents too.
They have They have career days for juniors and seniors. Dude, I would be smoking those career days.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah,
you pull out like 30, 40 kids from there.
Yeah.
That's life changing for them.
True, yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's
okay,
true.
cool.
That's
good.
smart. I like that idea.
I like
a little brainstorm.
Anyways, all right. So, what's your next play? Like, where are you guys going with? Actually, what's the big play first? I want to know the big play for this company? Where do you see it in 10 years from now?
I feel like the goal of any solar dealership is to become an installer, because once you have like everything lined up, it's just like your margins are only going to go down, right?
Right.
Like, and that's,
Do you just buy an installer?
I mean, you can, but or you can create one, and
It's probably better to just buy one.
yeah. Usually, if it's already in business, it's easier to buy a business that's already been in business for a few years, already established. Maybe somebody's just looking to sell for whatever reason, and then you can just rebrand it and have yours.
Right.
But yeah, like to say, kind of go off of Eli, like in the next 10 years, like we want to be acquired by somebody, anybody, and to get acquired, we just have to know exactly who's going to buy us.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we haven't done the research yet, but we're
Like
working
bought by another solar company?
usually
big
like
one.
the big players, right? Like Sunrents or like the Legacies or any big player in the industry. I see it down the road 10 years from now, like having a system in place to sell. Like for instance, Tesla. I know Solar City went bankrupt, but Solar City became Tesla now. So I feel like later down the road, it's gonna
You can get bought up by Tesla.
yeah, Tesla might buy us out.
No.
They need Salesforce. They make the equipment. They got us, right? We create the systems. We know what we're doing. Somebody buys out, man.
Right.
We do a megawatt, 10 megawatts.
So what you have to do is really systemize recruiting, tracking,
KPIs, all that good stuff.
improving, like the whole process, coaching, training.
That's all people are buying, right? Systems and.
Yeah.
Can you buy
Systems,
it?
huh?
Can you guys buy it for your company? Like
Oh,
just a
I
big-
don't think anybody's selling a company like that.
Like.
I'm not a company,
Yeah,
but
what-
just the systems.
Yeah, somebody would buy it. Somebody that's already been working. The play's there. Just buy it. We
Right.
created it. We created it.
Like, oh, can we buy it? Like. We
Yeah,
buy
can
that?
you buy it? Like, if
I
I
mean-
wanted to buy it, like, because if I were to say, hey, I'm gonna start a solar company,
Yeah.
I'm not. Don't worry. 'Cause I'll fucking not. If I were to do that, I would be like, the first thing I'd want to do is buy the sales system. Like, what's a sales system that's working?
Sure.
But I want to buy the
property.
whole thing. Like, how are you recruiting the people? How are you hiring them? How are you training them, coaching?
I get that. That makes sense. Yeah. So I think the reason we haven't had to do that primarily is because we worked for other companies previously.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to take the best things from all
I
of their
see.
systems
I see.
and then just kind of create our own that was, a sustainable model for us.
Right.
So
Okay, so I like it. So big picture, Tesla.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tesla.
but what's the next play for the company right now? Like, what's the core focus for
Yeah. So
Q4?
Year one, we survived so far, right? Q4 is here.
our next goal is we want to do 100 deals in a month. We haven't passed that 100
100 accounts.
So that's your
in a
focus
month.
right now. So based on your numbers, your conversion rates, what do you need to do that?
We need to just add 10 more reps. That's all
Yeah,
we need. It's
get
10 reps away from hitting 100 accounts.
So how do you get those 10 more reps?
Let's go hit high school campuses.
I like it.
School.
We're here, man. We're
I
here to
like
mastermind
it,
with
dude.
Richie.
I love that. I love that game, dude. It's just so fun to me. But that's awesome. So I love it. So you're gonna get 100 million. So it's 100 million.
No, we want it.
You are gonna
We
get
want
100
it, yeah. Wait,
But
Tesla.
about 100. So basically 100 sold solars accounts
Mhm.
in 1 month.
Yeah.
And what's the most you've done so far?
60.
And how many reps did you have when you did 60?
Last, man. We had like the 12, 13. This is the beginning of the year. This is when we were all bought in and working together as a unit.
Got it. So
Yeah.
but that's been happening ever since, or has there been like
It's
fall
been one fall off 1 month, but it's been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
50, 60, 50, 60.
So we got to get
We're like
to
that.
20. Okay, so that makes sense. 10 more reps.
There's that bottleneck, right? Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I love it. So personally, and then we're gonna be done here because
Sure.
Cody's out front. So personally, what's your next play?
Mine for like
To see what? Yeah,
Sunhaus?
yeah. What,
Or,
what
like,
do you
my
just?
personal life, or-
Yeah. What do you? No. What do you want to? What's your play, man? What do you want to achieve? What's your next move?
Um,
What's your focus? It could be. Finances, money. It could be winning a deal. It could be personally something for you. Like what? What's your focus?
I have this. So I have a setter. His name's Wesley.
Okay.
And my goal for him is to get him closing his own deals. And because my whole belief, my whole philosophy is like I can get where I want to go if I'm focused on getting other people where I want to go will put me way further than where I currently
For
want to
sure.
go. Right? So if I'm able to do that for the people that I'm working with, then by default I'm just going to be further than where I'd want to be.
I love
so
that, dude.
that's
Yeah.
my goal is to get Wesley and whatever other setters we bring on to get where I'm at right now. So that way, that puts me wherever I am, but allows me to have further reach, do more, help more, and be more.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That's really good. That's what they say. I mean, everyone's definition of leadership is different, but they say a real leader has the ability to develop more leaders, right? So that's awesome, dude. I love that. All right, Hugo, what's your next play?
Next play, I want to branch out into the home services and add another vertical, be roofs, windows, and just add it to Sunhaus.
But that's like a focus right now, or like that's more
right now.
Really?
Yeah, right now.
But I thought it was 10 sales reps.
10 sales reps for this year, but this personally, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, for Sunhaus, 10 reps are coming in.
Gotcha.
Sure.
So this is something you want to do now.
On the side, yeah. Yeah. Another vertical.
But don't you worried about like you're gonna have too many focuses, That's why we sold the gym. That's why I sold the gym because I made a big post on this because, I mean, you do what you gotta do, 100%. But like
it's hard.
But it's the battery, dude. Yeah. So for example, what we're doing now, there's no ceiling. What I was doing in the gym, we literally hit a ceiling in 11 months. It was that fast.
Right.
And I could have kept that going and. There's a seven-figure business. We could have collected money from it.
Right.
But I can tell you, and put people in place to run it,
Gotcha.
No problem. He was coming here, no way.
Yeah.
But we could have backfilled.
Right.
With that being said, you have a battery, for sure. And the things that could have happened in that would drain the battery over time. Unless you're building a private equity like what Hormozzi's or them or that's a different thing.
Right.
But like multiple businesses, so the idea is okay. So it drains some of the battery, and you may make, let's say,
add another
100,000 a month there, and then you do 100,000 a month here. So let's say you're doing 200,000, which is okay. But if you took that 100,000 away, you'd make 500 here.
Makes sense.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because you're all focused.
Right.
So that's kind of like
the way of home services. It's just another vertical. In my personal opinion, it's installers. It's not too hard, right? Have another roofing company because we sell roofs already. It's just a byproduct of it. It's just adding it will collect more money for our guys. Yeah. Not for us, right? For our guys.
Because installers are installers.
Right.
Yeah. But the sale of a window is the same as the sale of a solar.
I would say yes, and the only thing is energy efficiency, right?
Yeah.
Solar creates the same thing. It's an energy efficient product.
Yeah.
Like it creates insulation.
Yeah.
Windows will do too. Like I don't know too much about windows. I don't know too much about roofing, but my personal belief would be like, yes, you can add another vertical if it's right next to each other.
Yeah.
But I do understand the whole battery percentage going down. It's so fucking hard to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I just feel like you make way more with one foot. You'll still make
the same amount or more
over time, but if it's all in one, it's going to be a higher peak. That's just from experience.
So anything that like has to do with like the home upgrade. So because like people are getting smart. Like solar is like not a new concept, and people are like starting like, okay, well maybe before I get solar, I should make sure my house is as energy efficient as possible. So I'm not overpaying for a system. So when my house does become more energy efficient, I don't have the solar system like overproducing a crazy amount, right?
Got it.
So, but a lot of these are like obstacles that actually hold back solar projects. Like for example, I've gotten people new roofs like from roofing companies, but I didn't actually make a commission or anything from the roofing company. But like if we had
I see, because they need a new roof before they put the solar on top.
It's just another vertical that gets added on. It makes it so much easier for the sales process because a lot of people lose a lot of deals not having that.
So what's the next one? Windows, roofing,
HVAC? That I believe in is roofing. Just because it ties into solar so nice.
Right. Then windows.
Cool. And then eventually the whole house.
Listen,
I'll sell you LED light bulbs too.
Hopefully something we can plug in. Yeah.
Hugo, Eli.
Yeah.
Thank you both for being here.
Pleasure. Thank you. Richie.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate you, man.
Cool.
Man.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Next Play podcast. If you liked the show, make sure to leave us a review. For more resources, visit relentlessuniversity.com or download the free Relentless University app. And if you're interested in having me speak at your next event, Visit relentlessrichie.com. Until next time.